Am I audible?
Raj,
Hello? There were some software issues. Now
yes,
my
ma'am.
okay, okay. Ask your friends to join now. There was some error with Webex. It used to get corrupted time to time. Please ask your friends to join. Ask your friends to join the class. I'll wait. Okay, sharing my screen. Okay. Let me know if it is visible. Screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, see if you see this diagram, so there is a uniform gradient series. A1 21, 21 plus 1, 21 plus 2 into 1, so it became 23, 21 plus 3 into 1, so it became 24. So this is the cash flow diagram. So in figure 1, A1, your A1 you see the cost was 46.666. Okay, and G was, the constant G was this 2222. So you can find in all the cases A1 was constant. Just you have to multiply it by G in all the steps. So what they have done, considered the A1 as fixed plus G into P by G. The rate of interest was 18%. They have find out how much will be the 18% of 4. So this is the value they got. Screen is not visible. Someone texted me, roll number 45 texted me, screen is not visible. Let me know if it is visible or not. Okay, please check your network Fortify roll number. The proposal for using the company car by spending for petrol by the company will cost an annual equivalent of 49 for 4 years. This amount is less than annual rental value of 60,000. Therefore, the company should continue to provide its owner to its executive. Okay, the same offered if he is offered similar service with the same quality on rental basis, it was costing him 60,000. So they have compared. So this cost was less. So they have gone to this part. As these are the downward, so this is the cash dominated flow diagram. Now next is rate of return method. So how much return you are getting at what rate? So the rate of return of a cash flow pattern is the interest rate at which the present worth of that cash flow pattern is reduced to zero. In this method of comparison, the rate of return for each alternative is computed. Then the alternative which has the highest rate of return, that means which alternative will give the highest rate return. Okay, the percentage of, so you must have seen the there is when you make fixed deposit in a bank, so there was some return period, and they used to give you like 8%, 10%. So that is rate of return. After 10 years, or if you fixed it for 10 years or 5 years, how much return you will get. If they fix 8%, that will be your rate of return. So if they give you 12%, that will be your rate of return. Okay, like that. Based on that return, best alternative has been selected. This is the generalized cash flow diagram to demonstrate the rate of return method of comparison in this figure. This is the generalized cash flow diagram. As it is about rate of return, so all the rate of return will be in positive direction. In the above cash flow diagram, P represents an initial investment. This P is the initial investment. These are the net revenue at the end of each year. S is the salvage value. The first step is to find out the net present worth of the cash flow diagram using the following expression. So you have to use this expression to find out the present worth of this. So again, there is a problem. A person is planning a new business. The initial outlay and cash flow pattern for the business are listed below. The expected life of the business is 5 years. Now it is asking find the rate of return for the new business. So how much return or profit it will get, and at what rate. This is the initial investment, or you can say initial outlay, which is 1 lakh. It is represented by minus. And cash flow pattern. How much the cash flow it is there is in the business. This is 30,000 5 year. Okay, so the initial investment was 1 lakh, and annual equal revenue. At the end of each year, he was getting 30,000 profit, and it is shown for 5 years. So life will be 5 years. So this is the cash flow diagram, which is return dominated. Now, with the help of present flow method, you can find the PW. So at interest rate 10%, you can consider. Uh, just give me an example. Suppose they have considered with 10, 15, 18. Why they have considered 10, 15, and 18? Okay, they must have missed out the interest rate here in the question itself, or it is given. Okay, it is not given. So these rates will be given to you. So at the end of so if the rate is 10%, this much profit it will make. If the rate I is 15%, he was making this much profit, and at a rate of interest I 18, he was making this much. If you see, the rate of return for the new business is 15.252. Maybe some mistakes in the calculation. I'll check once more the calculation part. Okay, there was mistakes in the calculation. Suppose the percentage which you are giving you the most rate of return, there may be some digit here. Suppose here it is showing, suppose 50% is giving you high rate of return. So what you have to do, you have to take 15% plus the amount it is giving you, and you have to minus with the rate of amount you are getting negative. Then at what is the difference in this rate of interest? So they have multiplied with that rate, and this is the new rate of return for its new business. So we'll start with a new topic, depreciation. So basically, what is depreciation? So depreciation is any equipment which is purchased today will not work forever, right? Suppose you have bought today a new laptop. After 5 years it may not work like that. Or you have brought a car. After 5 years it will there will be some it won't give you the same fuel consumption or same speed. There may be some changes, right? And anything you purchase, this may be due to wear and tear of the equipment or obsolescence of technology. Hence, it is to be replaced at the proper time for continuation of any business. So, if you suppose in a business you have purchased a machine, after 5 years it is not giving you the same. Suppose at the first year it was producing 50 products, so it may not give you the 50 product at after 5 years or 10 years. So, what you have to do? You can replace it, right? Now, the replacement of the equipment at the end of its life involves money. This must be internally generated from the earnings of the equipment. Now, recovery of money from the earnings of an equipment for its replacement purpose is called depreciation fund. Since we make an assumption that the value of the equipment decreases with the passage of time. Okay, so the decrease in the its value is nothing but your depreciation. Thus, the word depreciation means decrease in value of any physical asset with the passage of time. So, if you see in simple words, how much how much its value decreased with the passage of time is the depreciation. So, there are methods. You can find out the depreciation fund. Number one is straight line method of depreciation. Number two is decline balance method of depreciation. Third is sum of the years digit method of depreciation, sinking fund, and service output method. These are basically methods of depreciation to find out the depreciation. Okay. So we'll discuss every method one by one. In straight line method, in straight line method of depreciation, a fixed sum is charged as the depreciation amount throughout the lifetime of an asset, such that the accumulated sum at the end of the life of the asset is exactly equal to the purchase value of the asset. What you will do, a fixed sum is charged as a depreciation amount. Fixed sum is charged. You will keep fixed sum as a depreciation amount throughout the lifetime. Minutes at at every year you are fixing us some amount for its maintenance or for some purposes. Lifetime of an asset such that accumulated sum at the end of the life of the asset is exactly equal to the purchase value of the asset. So suppose Thursday. It is okay. Am I audible? Okay, thank you. My laptop is giving me issues. Okay. So fixed sum is charged as the depreciation amount throughout the lifetime of an asset such that accumulated sum. So the sum has which has been stored or which has been collected at the end of the life, this will be equal to the purchase value of the asset. Okay. So here we make an important assumption that inflation is absent. So there is no point of inflation. So P will be the first cost of the asset. F is the salvage value of the asset, salvage money, resale value. N is the life of the asset. BT is the book value of the asset at the end of the period. And now DT is the depreciation amount for the period. So this is the formula to find out the depreciation and book value are as follow. The depreciation you can find you can find by P minus F, that is first cost of the asset minus resale value of the asset. How much you have purchased and how much at what rate you have sold it. If you just differentiate it and divide it with how much was the life of the asset, you will get the depreciation value. To find out the book value, this is the formula: bt minus 1 minus dt, or you can find p minus t. Let me add some students again, they are coming at this point. Okay, now P minus T, that is first cost of the asset, and at the time period. What time period it was with you? Let's see an example. It has purchased an equipment whose first cost is 1 lakh with an estimated life of 8 years. The estimated salvage value of the equipment at the end of its lifetime is 20,000. That is, salvage value is 20,000 rupees. Determine the depreciation charge and book value at the end of various years using the straight line method. P was 1 lakh, F was 20,000, N is 8 years. So with the same easy formula, you can find the DT value, which is 10,000. In this method of depreciation, the value of DT is the same for all the years. The calculating pertaining to BT for different values at T are summarized in B. So see, you can find DT will be same throughout, but BT will change after for every year. So 8 years, so you have to find for 8 years, 0 to 8. Depreciation was same. Book value you can find BT1 minus DT. So BT1 was nothing, so it will be same 1 lakh. Now here BT will be 10,000 from 1 lakh. This 1 lakh minus 10,000, 90,000. Again from 90,000 to this way you can find out. 1 lakh minus 10,000, you will get 90,000. 90,000 minus 10,000, you will get 80,000. 80,000 minus 10,000, you will get 70,000. So at the 8 year, BT value is 20,000. Okay. So in this way, you can find out the book value or depreciation value by straight line method. If you are interested in computing DT and BT for a specific period, the formula can be used. In this approach, it should be noted that the depreciation is the same for all the projects, for all the periods. Again, there is an example. Consider example and compute the depreciation and the book value for period 5. Suppose it is asking you to find out the depreciation and book value for 5 years. You have, F you have, N was 8 years given, so you can find uh, D5. Here in this question, depreciation is independent of the number of periods. Okay, that's why they have used 1,000, 1 lakh minus 20,000 divided by 8. So this is independent of the time period. So depreciation is independent of the time period in this question. Now BT, T minus T divided by, so this T will be replaced by 5. So D5 will be 50,000. And if you see from the table also, B5 was 50,000. Now decline balance method of depreciation. This method we'll study in the next class. Okay. Here any confusion or any doubt? We studied two methods of cash flow, right? We studied two methods of cash flow. This annual equivalent or rate of return method. Then we move to the topic depreciation, and in that depreciation we study the one method which is straight line method. Any confusion? If not, then you all can write your roll numbers. You can write your roll numbers in the chat box. Okay, those who wrote their roll number, they can leave. Anyone left to write the roll number? Last roll number is 87, 86. Those who wrote the roll number, they can leave. Okay. Hope everyone wrote their roll number, so I'm ending this meeting, okay?